All right, welcome to RCAM. I'm your host, Ryan, and thank you for tuning in today. I just gotta get situated here real quick, get my wife in the shot on TikTok. All right, I hope all of you guys are having a very blessed day. I know I am. Wifey made some bomb.com uh, stuffed shells. It was pretty good.
I made stuffed shells.
They were delicious.
Today was minimal day for me. I do the minimal.
It was minimally awesome.
Yeah, it was delicious. I wish I could take credit for the recipe, but I just got it online.
KMD says he'll join a little bit later. That's all right, dude. Um, so today we have kind of like we'll be spending the vein kind of talking about church related issues. I think that's kind of a
Okay.
also share a little bit of your
Testimony?
testimony.
Okay.
So that'll be cool too. So for those of you joining us, we're live on Rumble and TikTok and Kick and Twitch and X and YouTube, everywhere. We're live everywhere, basically. In your face live. All right. And if you like this stream, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all those things. That helps us grow. That helps our reach. And it's been kind of cool, man. We've had some pretty good streams. I'm enjoying it, growing little by little every single day. So I appreciate the support. So one of the things that I wanted to talk about today is so we've discussed I've discussed on my show that benefits are ultimately going to get cut. And that's already happened. So, with this government shutdown, there's lots of people that are going without food. And some of them probably could go a couple weeks without food, if I'm being honest. She doesn't find me amusing. But I do think ultimately there are people that are going to be in need of food. And this is where I believe the church has an opportunity to be the church and step up and be there for the needy. I think that's very important. I think churches that fail or renege on this responsibility should just close their doors. I mean, if you have somebody that's legitimately hungry coming to you and you turn them away, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's our job.
Absolutely.
That's our mandate. Jesus says, what you do to the least of these, you do to me. So if we're turning away people that are genuinely in need, that's wrong and we shouldn't do it. However, that doesn't mean that the church doesn't have the right to use discernment, okay?
Right.
There have been many of times while I pastored a church that I did refuse people help because they didn't actually need help. Or they didn't need the type of help they wanted. They wanted a handout. They wanted money. I'm not just going to give you money.
Right.
That's not being a good steward over what God has entrusted me with. Now, there have been situations where somebody's needed, help paying an electric bill.
We paid it.
But with a caveat, actually. We made sure we paid the electric bill.
Right.
All right? Give us the bill, and we'll take care of it for you. And we did that. That's just being responsible. All right?
I remember we bought groceries, and this is just so you guys know, like, this is not like, oh, let's toot our own horn, like, we don't, or look how great we are. It has nothing to do with that because we've done a lot of stuff, but because we believe that the Holy Spirit wants us to do that,
Yeah.
He puts it on our hearts. And I remember one time we bought a family groceries for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we literally dropped it off to their door, and I never forgot the feeling. It was us with another family.
Yeah.
That I remember that. That feeling of when I opened the door, the mother was at work and her like 11-year-old daughter was there to pick up the food. Like they worked so hard and they were struggling. They were so excited just to see like a box of macaroni and cheese. Like I wanted to cry for them. And did we even have kids yet?
I don't know. I know there was a few families too we helped out during Thanksgiving. Weren't we running all? Yeah, we were.
Yes, we were running food for Thanksgiving because they couldn't have food. And I even remember, I don't know if it was food or toys, but we also did something for Christmas.
Yeah, we did. We did a couple of different things.
We did quite a few things.
And we were a small church, by the way. We
Yeah.
were, I mean, no more than maybe 20 people, and, not everybody donated. So it was like a lot of us, or just a small few of us just coming together to help meet the needs of these people, and that's what we did, and that's the right thing to do.
Right.
Now there were certain situations, and there's a reason I'm talking about this, and we'll get into it. Um, there would be some people too that would come to us for help,
Mm-hmm.
and we were partnered with this crisis pregnancy center, which, by the way, I just want to share something with you that I just think is awesome, kind of unrelated. So we met out of this crisis pregnancy center that was directly across the street from a plant. Can you stop the cat?
Yeah.
Sorry, our cat
Am I
is.
letting her in, or?
Yeah, just let her in.
Okay.
She's
like, please
she's
help me.
pawing at
If
the
you
door.
don't let me in, I'm going to. Can I say?
Oh wait, I'll get the cat. You're pregnant.
Oh no! Yes,
I'm not
thank
even
you.
thinking about it.
So, are you going to tell them about what exactly? Okay. Well, anyways, he's getting the cat. But yeah, we did church out of this crisis pregnancy center. It's our cat. She's being a Keithan. Hello there. Sorry. We have animals. They love us. They just, yeah. Say hello.
She's like, I'll kill you.
So this is a side story. Now she's leaving me. This is a side story. When Ryan and I first got this cat, I have never owned a cat in my life. Okay. I've always had dogs growing up. And I am used to, you get a dog. What is this? What is that?
Don't ignore it.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't pay it any mind.
Gotcha. So,
unless you want
no
to pay for viewers, we can pay for viewers.
We're not paying for viewers. This is just for fun and the glory of God. There you go. Okay. So anyways, so we got this cat as a kitten. And I've never owned a cat before. Ryan's had plenty of cats during his life. And I went to go snuggle her, and she just like freaked out. And I was like, she doesn't love me. And she would always run away from me, and she would play attack me all the time. And I took that as like, okay, this cat hates me. And she would never cuddle up to me ever, but she would jump on Ryan. Okay, I was the one to feed her. I was the one to brush her. I was the one to make sure she had fresh water every day. But no, she did not care about me. She was like, you can go somewhere else. I'm with my human. And she would cuddle up to Ryan, and she would just purr on his chest and feel all of his warmth. And I'm like, oh. And then it dawns on me, I'm not holding her right. So it took me years to master the art of cattery. Okay, we'll call it that. And Ryan had to teach me. And then finally, after 4 years of having this cat, I'm not even joking, I was sitting at my dining room table, and she jumps up on my lap, and I was like, oh.
See, she would force herself on the cat, and she didn't. I was like, cats aren't like that. You can't just force yourself. You gotta let them like do their own thing. They're like autonomous beings.
I'm Puerto Rican, okay? I'm half Puerto Rican actually, but I'm Puerto Rican, okay? We force everything. You want to eat? You don't? You're eating. Are you thirsty? Now you're thirsty. You got to clean your shoes? I'm going to clean it for you if you don't want to clean them. Like it's just how we are, It's just we're so loving and forceful.
It's true.
It's true. So, but yeah, she jumped on my lap, and then afterwards I realized how to love her, and changed my life. And now she loves me. She lays next to my pillow and she purrs especially when I'm not feeling well. Anyways, this live is not about our cat.
Back to the Planned Parenthood story. So
let's do it.
We were a church meeting out of Planned Parenthood, a crisis pregnancy center across the street from Planned Parenthood, which was awesome because this crisis pregnancy center would like every Saturday pray for that Planned Parenthood to shut down. And sometimes you get these protesters that were like really nasty and in your face and like screaming and yelling, whatever. They were just being, their normal demonic selves. Anyway, they prayed against them for years. And ironically, I think 2021 during COVID, that crisis or that Planned Parenthood closed their doors for good. And I thought, that's poetic, because not only did the Crisis Pregnancy Center pray, but we also prayed usually every Sunday that Planned Parenthood would shut its doors. So to see God answer that prayer was pretty cool. But anyway, I bring this Crisis Pregnancy Center up because sometimes our church, when we were partnered with them, we would direct women or people in need to go to the Crisis Pregnancy Center for help if they needed clothes for their kids, or they needed formula, or they needed really any type of prenatal assistance. We would direct them to the Crisis Pregnancy Center, and they would help them out.
Because, and if you think about it too, like they're equipped to have it right now.
Yeah.
Most churches are not. Or not most churches, but a lot of churches are not. Like a lot of churches don't just have a pantry lying around, you know?
Yeah. 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 Or, it depends on, like some stuff is perishable. So it's like
Right.
you just, it
Or goes
depends.
quick,
So a lot of churches too, like what people don't understand is churches, even though they might not have those things on hand, they are partnered with other organizations throughout their city, so they are partnered with the local food pantry. So they'll do food drives and all sorts of things to help these other entities that are the primary, I guess, unit in that town to help meet the needs of people.
Right.
All right. So I say that because I came across, and I say all this because I came across this TikTok video of this TikToker who is going around and she's calling dozens of churches. I think she's up to, let me see. Let me see her numbers right now. She's up to 42 churches. All right. So she's called 42 churches so far. And she's pretending that I'll bring one of her videos up in a minute just so that you get the gist of what she does. But anyway, she's calling these churches and she's bringing up videos of a baby crying in the background, and asking these churches for help with formula to feed their kids. And so far it seems like the overwhelming amount of churches, at least from what I'm seeing on TikTok or being shared on X, is true, are turning her away or refusing to help her. And ironically though, she called mosques, and the mosques are willing to help. So we will actually do like a live reaction to some of these videos, because maybe there really are churches that are turning her away. I suspect there's probably more that we don't know, even in terms of the individual churches and what they're involved with. So we will play a few of these videos and we will see. Does that sound good?
That sounds good. It's interesting. What her whole bio says though.
Yeah.
It says test. Do you care if I read it?
Yeah. No,
Okay.
I'll bring it right up.
Okay.
Boom.
Yeah. So testing your church to see if they would feed a hungry baby. What's FDT?
I have no idea.
Okay. F ICE. I'm weak. Free Palestine, BLM, Heart, Immigrants, Pro-Choice, Army Veteran. She's also a lesbian from Kentucky. Okay.
Lovely. Okay. Let's just go to number one. Let's.
So these are all churches.
I think so for the most part.
Wow. Well, I did like one thing out of her bio.
What?
She's an Army veteran.
Yeah.
So thank you for serving our country.
Yeah.
I have to pull the good out of all the mess. So here we go.
You need to look.
Oh yes, I do need
I
to.
tried to call there earlier, right at 9 o'clock. It was like 9:03, and
So this is a Baptist church.
So we are going to try them again and see if they answer and if they're willing to help.
Good morning, East Somerset Baptist Church.
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if you all were able to help. I have a baby and I do not have formula for the week for her, and I was wanting to see if y'all were able to help.
They stopped doing anything out of the church office about 2 years ago. We give to some places in town that, might be able to help you, like God's Food Pantry or Perm,
Okay.
but they don't do anything out of the church office.
Okay, so y'all don't do anything to help.
directly out of the office, no.
What does it mean when you say directly out of the office?
I mean, that we give, like, some of our missions budget to places in town for that kind of a thing. Like to AIM, like sometimes AIM can help, or First Choice Clinic, we give to them.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And there's that. They do not help your community. No,
So that's
All
not
right,
true.
that is
That's not
disingenuous.
true. That's not true.
So watching video number 1, my suspicion was correct. She is being disingenuous because what did they say that they do?
They take the money and they send it to the organizations that can help. So the organizations that can help can grow and actually help the community. So they're indirectly, actually they're directly helping the community by funding the organization for that.
Yeah.
So that's not cool.
Yeah. So, and then look at some of these comments. Tax the churches. The reason they are tax free is because they are supposed to be helping people. What do you? Oh man, hold on. Let me calm down.
Compose yourself.
Let me
My
calm down
goodness,
because
the door's open
it's
too.
really
The
frustrating.
children, the
What do you
children.
think they are doing with that money?
Yeah.
All right, they are sending it to help people in need.
Can I also comment something? So there's a lot of Baptist churches, okay? How big is this Baptist church? Is it 20 people? Is it 50 people? Is it 100 people? Sometimes it's all elderly. Sometimes it's all, well, it's not usually all young people. But depending on the type of people that go to this Baptist church and the amount of people, there might not be enough actual hands to help, like hands-on. So instead of being hands-on, they say, you know, we want to be a blessing to our community, but everyone's working or everyone's a little bit too old to do this. So why don't we give our money and distribute it to people who actually know the community better than we do and help them? And this is what, you know, like this is specific, you know?
I'll let wifey pick the next one, and then I'll let one of you guys pick the next one. So we're not like pre-selecting these to confirm our biases.
Okay.
So that was the first one.
Okay, go up a little bit. 22.
Let's do 22.
Is that a bigger church? Let's see.
First Baptist.
Another First Baptist? Let's forget a First Baptist church then.
Okay.
I don't want First Baptist. Well, let's do something different. 25. What's that?
25.
Yeah. Okay, Trinity Episcopal in Columbia, South Carolina.
Okay, somebody's calling me back. I think it's Our Lady. So I'm calling your church to test to see if they are willing to help feed a starving baby. So right now I'm about to call First Baptist Church.
Oh, did it?
Okay, somebody's calling me back.
No, it's not it either. It was someplace in South
So
Carolina.
I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby. And right now I am calling Our Lady of the Hills Catholic Church, and they are located in Columbia, South Carolina.
Wait, what was?
They're... So I'm calling your church to test to see if they would help feed a starving baby.
No, it wasn't. It was 25. Hold on a second. How did I swipe away from that? There we go.
Oh, that hurts my heart.
It's a fake baby.
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if you could help with baby formula at all. I have a 2-month-old and I ran out last night, so she's gone all night and all day without formula.
Okay, just 1 second. Allison Fowler. Please hold while I try to connect you. Trinity Cathedral.
Hi, I'm trying to see if anybody could help with a can of formula. I have a 2-month-old and I ran out last night, so she's gone all night and all day without anything to eat. And I have called everywhere and they're just telling me to reach out to local churches.
Okay, let me ring up to one of our clergy and see if they can provide that for you. Just
All right.
1 moment.
All right, thank you.
Your call has been forwarded to the voicemail for Jimmy Hartley. No one is available to take your call. At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press the pound key for more options.
Okay, well, they just sent me to back and forth to people and then sent me to a voicemail.
Well, that doesn't mean they won't help.
Yeah.
That happens. That happens sometimes.
It happens with the government.
Yeah. KMD says, is this just post dedicated to trashing on churches? Yeah, buddy, it is.
I think so.
Yeah, it is. And we'll let you, man, have the honors of picking the next number out. We got, 42 videos here? So if there's a number that comes
Pick a
to
number
mind.
1 through 42. It's basically, except for 25 and 1.
Yeah, if you have one in mind. Now, these ones aren't numbered yet, but I can kind of deduce this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's some missing.
Oh, wait, she got an update.
Where?
From Our Lady Fatima. That's it.
No, this is a different church.
No, I
No,
don't.
this is 25.
Oh.
That's after. So, but maybe we can see Our Lady Fatima. Let's see if I can see that church picture somewhere. Here it is. All right, so we'll watch the first part of this. And then KMD will get you on the next one.
So I'm about to call and test your church to see if they would help feed a starving baby. I'm about to call Our Lady of Fatima Catholic Church. I hope I pronounced that right. If I didn't, I'm sorry. They're located in Alcoa, Tennessee, and it says it's an actively engaged community of Christ disciples welcoming everyone. So let's see if they would help feed a starving baby. It does not say if they are open or not. I'm just calling. I'm gonna find out.
Oh, Lady Fatima, this is Dottie. How may I help you?
Hi, yes. I'm just trying to see if y'all could help at all. I am trying to find someone that could help feed my baby. She's only 2 months old and I ran out of formula last night. And I don't know, I don't have anyone else to call. All those resources I've been trying to call just told me to reach out to local churches.
Have you tried Good Neighbors?
Yeah, I've been trying everywhere.
Okay. I don't... It's not something we usually do. Okay, hold on 1 minute, please.
Okay.
Good morning, this is Anna.
Hi, yes. I was calling to see if y'all could help with some formula for my baby. She's only 2 months old, but I ran out last night. And everybody's telling me to call local churches because we're not having luck anywhere else.
Are you in Blount County?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And you're actually needing special formula or just regular?
It's a good start, just regular formula. I just ran out and I don't have any money, and like she's just been so cranky and whiny, and I just want to get her fed.
Yeah. Okay. How much does the formula usually cost?
Just like $20 is like the small
That's
one.
a lot.
That's a lie.
Okay. Do you know where we're located?
No, I don't. Okay, can I pause you really quick?
I'm sorry?
Okay, I actually do not need help. I'm actually calling local churches to see if they would actually help feed a starving baby. And so far today, you are the only one that has offered to help or try to help. So I just want to let you know that I appreciate what you do in your community, and I hope you have an amazing, blessed day.
Absolutely. God bless.
God bless you too. Bye.
She's okay. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, saying she seemed fair in that.
Yeah.
She was kind and she was fair in that. I think maybe she is genuine then, based on that reaction, because she didn't seem upset. You know what I mean?
Okay, we got 36 here.
36.
We're
for
going to do
KMD.
36 for KMD.
All right, let's see.
So far, by the way, one church, the first church that was called, was willing to help.
Mm-hmm.
They just send their money toward a local food pantry,
Mm-hmm.
and they directed her there because that's the mission they support. So they were willing to help. The second one just didn't answer the phone. That happens. You know, it happens to the best of us.
And she didn't leave a message either.
And the third one that we've listened to so far was willing to help. So now let's just see 36.
Okay. So we are calling the Linden Church of Christ in Linden, Tennessee.
Hello, Sandy.
Hi, I was wanting to see if y'all could help with a small can of baby formula.
What now?
Yeah, I was wanting to see if y'all could help with a small can of baby formula. Is this the Linden Church of Christ?
Yes, ma'am, but I am out of town. I didn't know my number was on anything, but I'll be glad to try to help you. Where are you in Linden, or where are you at?
Yeah, I'm in Linden. I wasn't far from your church, and it just popped up on Google. And I've been calling all the resources in the area, and they're telling me to call local churches for help. But I have a 2-month-old, and she's been without since last night, so we've gone all night and all day without any baby formula. But I live off Beach Street. It's not far from you. It's like 10 minutes from your church.
Okay. You say you just moved there?
Yes.
Oh, man, bless your heart. Okay, man, I wish I was in town. I'll teach you, but I don't do. I'm in Murfreesboro for the day. Beach Street. Do you have transportation?
I do.
Okay. Pardon me, I'm trying to figure out what our best way to do this.
So this guy's really trying to help.
Do they have it at the local grocery store there in Linden? I have no idea.
They do. Can you hold on 1 second, please?
I have no idea.
They do. Can you hold on 1 second, please? Okay, I had to turn off my right now. I am actually doing a social experiment to see which churches would help feed a starving baby when all resources are gone. So the fact that you're out of town and you're still trying to figure out a way to make sure my baby fed just means a lot, and I just wanted to thank you.
Oh, okay. So you don't have a need right now?
I don't. Yeah, I'm doing this just to test to see who would be willing to help, and I actually get a lot of no's, surprisingly. So yeah, you're one of the few right now. I think I'm at 7 people that said yes out of 20 and 24 that said no. So something like that.
We were glad to help. We just don't.
No. You were you were definitely willing to help, even though you're far away. So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
let's see. Okay.
We got Olivia Guzman. So far, only one church is willing to help, but Mosque had no hesitation. We Christians need to do better. We've watched a couple. We watched her first one, and the first one, they directed her toward a food bank. So to make it seem like they weren't willing to help was disingenuous, in my opinion. I must have seen one of the older. She has like 40 something out right now. So we've seen one where she called and they hung up the phone, or they didn't hang up the phone. She got disconnected. Like they sent her to another voicemail, so she couldn't get through to somebody. Sometimes that happens. And then another one said yes. So we're on 2 yeses right now, and 1 disconnect, and 1 they just redirected her toward another one. But I do think, I'm going to take her at face value for right now. The rest of the churches, 20 have said no. That's unacceptable. I mean, there's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Churches should absolutely be willing to help. Now, does that mean that churches are going to just give you money if they don't know you? No, they gotta do a little bit of vetting and understand who they're giving money to. They just can't hand money out, but they should definitely be making sure, like, all right, let me try to figure out who this person is so that I can try to help them. Now, there are churches that will not directly help,
Right.
because they partner with other organizations that help meet that need. So it's like, me and my wife had been whatchamacallit, partnering with a crisis pregnancy center. We would send a lot of people their way
Mm-hmm.
because we were partnered with them, and
Mm-hmm.
we knew they had the resources to help them.
Yeah.
And we would send them resources. So like we would scratch each other's back. It was great.
Yeah.
No, I bought groceries for people as well as giving money, but
That's
the big
good.
mega churches should be doing more, which I
Yes.
100% agree.
100%.
All right, I 100% agree. Now, I did see one video of her contacting Victory Christian Church. Let me see if I could see it here. There's a lot of these. Victory Christian Church in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And they did help, and they are a mega church. They are, a massive church. And the scale of the things that they do is incredible. They have their own dream center where they're equipping people. And then there's like other organizations that they partner with to help people. And then on top of giving food out personally. So there's like a lot of big churches that also do stuff for people. So it just really depends. It's hit and miss. Now, the churches that miss the mark, that's a failure, and they should be shamed. Honestly, they should be ashamed of themselves, because that is our mandate.
It's a problem when a pastor has like a $2 million home, but doesn't have a pantry. I think.
Yeah, and I've been part of actually a pretty large church that did not, they had more than enough resources, and they certainly could have done more than what they were doing, and that was disappointing to see.
Are we thinking of the same place?
Yeah.
I will say though, do you mind if I play devil's advocate?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
Okay. Before, how do I say this? I have experience though that I think differently though. The part of church, the church that we were part of, and maybe because I didn't work for them, but I do know that if someone were to walk in and say, "Hey, I need food," at least one person would go out of their way to feed them.
Yeah.
Like no person was turned away. And I know this because there was a time where I was just fundraising for something silly.
Yeah.
Like a dance competition or cheer competition or whatever, and they would hand people money to go do their dreams. So I think they've definitely been very generous.
Yeah, but I would say
they didn't have a pantry. I will say that. And they did. No, they had the meals program.
More meals.
No, they did. No, they had the meals. We just don't remember. It was such a long time ago.
Okay.
Yes.
I do think overall, though, they could have probably done a little bit more.
Okay.
Because they were spending like, I know how much money they spent on their screens and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of it.
Maybe that's what it is.
So, yeah. So there are churches though that could always do more, and I will give some mega churches credit. They probably do a lot more that people don't even realize.
Yeah.
So it's maybe some of these smaller, more isolated churches that probably aren't doing their due diligence. So I will say again that if you're a church that's not helping out, shame on you. I'll also say like to sit here and pretend like mosques are more generous than churches is kind of silly to me, because churches are actually like do the most charity throughout the entire world.
Mother Teresa.
We are some of the most charitable people in the entire world, and I've personally seen churches give and go above and beyond. I have a church out in Somerville that I know of, and they help fund like a rehab program that I think is cool. I have churches out that I know in Tulsa that have done multiple different things. I know churches in New York that do incredible things to help people. So it's like, it really depends on the church, and if they are not doing what they are called to do and they're not answering the mandate, then they will be held accountable again, because the Bible says what you do to the least of these, or Jesus says what you do to the least of these, you do to me.
Yeah, so true.
And that's what we should be known for, as our charity, because I actually think the church is in a prime position where now we have an opportunity, all right? We have an opportunity to meet the needs of the people who are now getting their food stamps and public assistance removed. Well, now we can actually meet that need, and my argument for a long time is that's the job of the church, and if they're not willing to do that job, then they need to.
I would add a caveat though.
Yeah.
Remember what you talked about, willing to work.
Yeah.
There's a difference between someone who's really struggling and trying to pay their bills and they can't, and absolutely you should help them. But someone who's being lazy and slothful and just wants to take money and get fat and sassy, no way. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You need to contribute to society, That's how do you think all of mankind survives?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, you have to be willing to work. And
I'm glad you agree.
And that's something I've talked about before. If you're not willing to work, then you don't deserve to eat. It just is, and that's the Bible.
Yeah.
That's not me, Orionism. That's what the Bible says.
And I think there's also like differences too, like if you're an elder, right? If you're pregnant,
yeah.
Even if you have a disability, or you're a veteran, honestly, if you put your life on the line, it's a little different.
Yeah, but that's a situation where they can't really work though.
Yeah.
Res Truth Pod. Hey man, good evening. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, that would be a situation where they wouldn't be able to work. So it's like, I do think though churches should be vetting the people that they're helping, all right? Because you can't just give people money, all right? You can't do that.
No.
All right, because there's just disingenuous people. Where I came from, there was a lot of drug addicts, all right? That was just a reality. So giving them money would be irresponsible.
Yeah.
Directly. But, we would, pay for food for them. That's not a problem. We would get them into housing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I did as a pastor to help people in need. They need help. Think of Ruth in the Bible. She still worked to glean in the fields and help her mother-in-law. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean Proverbs 31. The Proverbs 31 woman. She works hard to help her family, but she does everything for the sake of her family. And I think that's
place of love.
That's the important thing. So it's really a mindset. I also think it's better for churches to be directly involved with helping people, because now there's actually
support.
Like a level of accountability. All right.
Yes.
You're not just going down to this food stamps office and speaking to a clerk that doesn't know you and you don't even have to do that anymore. You just apply online. It's no longer nameless. There's a name, so you can directly hold that person accountable. So let's say you are paying for Joe Schmo's groceries, and you've been doing this for months, and then another person in your church is like, hey, I know you're covering Joe's groceries, but I saw him driving in this really nice car and buying cigarettes and doing all this. It seems like he's pretty well. You could say, hey Joe, what's this, man?
Yeah.
We've been covering our groceries for months, and it seems like you have all this extra money. Can you talk to us about it? Yeah. I think that's responsible, because there's a level of accountability there. That's not really the case with the food stamps program. They do investigate for fraud, but there's still a lot of fraud, and it's probably too much for them to handle. So I do think the church is the perfect place to really hold them accountable. Currently bottle feeding a pupper. Nice.
How old's the pupper? I must know.
Yeah, that's fine.
So there was a time when Ryan and I first got married and had our first child, and we lived in this house too big for us, honestly. And um, it was just kind of like a difficult time. Even we took. I don't think we had food stamps, but we used government assistance.
Wick.
It was WIC, yeah, for it was maybe like 3 or 4 months, just until I was able to go back to work and we were able to really, not that we were like off our feet, but just so that way things weren't so stressful, because he was working a lot, I was working a lot, and we had a newborn baby to take care of.
Oh, Olivia has a crazy story. A
Funny
church I
story.
used to go to had someone on staff that basically did that. Come to find out, he had a penthouse and a trust fund in another state, but he manipulated people in the church to pay his way. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Yeah, that's
no.
dirty. That is dirty.
That's really dirty. That's disgusting. Shame.
Yeah,
Shame.
those people should be shamed. But that's part of being a part of the church, though. When somebody is doing something wrong, you hold them accountable, have them repent. If they refuse to repent,
out you go.
You throw them out of the church. Get out. You're done.
She said, "I get it. I used WIC for a few months when I were." Yeah, and you know what? That's a beautiful thing of programs. Like, that's what it's designed for. It's not for you to like live on it the whole time. It's for you to get your assistance, and if you need it, as long as you need it, by all means, take it. That's what it's there for. I have no problem taking my taxpayer dollars and putting it towards people who actually need it, people who are working hard and doing their best, or just doing their best. That's it. But it drives me up a wall to know that I'm being a responsible adult and trying to save money or trying to make ends meet, and both my husband and I are working so hard, and we have these children that we need to take care of, and then you see someone who is acting degenerate, first of all, with their brand new iPhone in their hand, counting their food stamps, and they're massively, and I don't mean to say it in like a disrespectful way, but they're massively overweight. They're not even taking care of themselves.
Stop fat shaming, Sam.
I didn't say fat, although you pissed me off enough, I will.
Oh, I'm going to show you an example, because I do think it's a pretty dang good example.
Oh, wait, she has more to the story. Juicy. He was friends with the pastor and was not held accountable. No, exactly.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone should feel embarrassed for using it. No, not at all. No way. That's terrible, though. The pastor thing? My God. Res Truth Pod says 3 weeks old today. Oh, send pictures. I mean, you don't have to, but you could.
This is the type of person that I think...
Yeah, it was wild.
...probably should not be collecting government assistance.
Hold on. Oh, okay. Put it on. Hold on.
It's really bad. Danielle Grant is starving.
Oh, she's crying though.
I don't know. I'm trying to see if I can get some food. Because we literally don't have anything to eat today and tomorrow. So we're going to try to make ends meet, and we can. Desperate for food, nowhere to go. Grant and many others got to the Hope Line today just to make an appointment to come back later in the week for food. Resources are slim, leaving 40% of Bronxites without money to feed themselves. Some still in shock.
You heard things before, but it's like, they're not gonna let people starve. That's ridiculous, but it's like, no, that's literally like what's happening.
We hope the food pantries maintain open, because if they don't stay open, I really don't know what we're gonna do next.
We asked people their reaction to hearing that the Trump administration will partially fund the SNAP program. People say it's not going to do much. They have families to feed and already struggled at the end of every month when they were receiving the full amount.
Wow, not enough. At least there's something to hold on, but I think everybody's gonna have to get a second job.
It doesn't really last the whole month. Probably like 2 or 3 weeks, and then by the last week you gotta scramble to find, things.
This couple has 4 kids. The mom says pantries aren't always reliable.
They have limited supply, or by the time we get to the front of the line, then there's really nothing there. So it's hard.
She says she's holding on to faith Meanwhile, others are worried hunger will drive crime rates up. We don't know how much money will be reloaded onto people's cards and when that will be. In Longwood, Lindsay Tanny, News.
I got a better one because
Are we really gonna pretend like she's starving though?
no,
Come on.
but she did listen. She did say, I give everybody the benefit of the doubt. Hold on. She did say that something about working to make ends meet. So I don't know what she does for a living. She's a little bit of a bigger girl. Okay, fine.
A little bit, hon. Like,
Fine.
come on.
Fine. But she genuinely seems like she's scared. But this lady,
Yeah,
hold on.
I think she is.
Ay, ay, ay.
I think she is scared because she's used to eating her body weight in food. You know? And she's talking about how quickly she goes through food. Well, maybe just eat a little less.
Okay, go to the Daily Caller. It's this one.
The Daily Caller.
Yeah. Or go. I send it to you on Facebook.
Or I don't
whatever
have
it is.
Facebook pulled up on here.
Oh, okay.
What's the video called?
It's the Daily Caller. Should able-bodied people be required to work in order to receive SNAP? Best 11 seconds of it. But they proved my point.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if I can find it here.
Do work.
Okay. Work. You talk to Chizzy Chat while I find this.
Okay, wait, who am I talking to?
I don't know.
The chat. Okay, guys, I'm chatting. Chit, chat. Bing, bang. Okay, just kidding. If he can't find the video, I will tell you what the video says. It's just more real when you see it. But this guy basically asks, you know, are you working? You're not getting your food stamps anymore, but are you working? And she paused and was silent. Like, oh crap, you got me. And she goes, it's none of your business. So, in other words, no, she's not. Or maybe she did say no, you know, but the point, and she was a bit, she was bigger too, you know.
I can't find this video.
It's such a good video.
That's all right.
I'm gonna.
Because that's on Instagram or Facebook?
It's Facebook.
Oh, that's fake, hon.
Is this fake?
Yeah, that's fake.
How's this fake? It's from the Daily Caller.
No, I can tell. See that? Boom. That looks like it could be AI. Because Sora is what they use to make AI.
Aw.
It could be fake. I don't feel comfortable sharing it.
Fine.
But
still proves my point, though. There's
let me
plenty
make
of people
sure I
like
forget
that.
to open X up.
Well, yeah. You know, I have no problem helping people. I, though, will not...
Nobody gets help.
He's joking. I will not give money. That's the only thing I refuse to do. Because I don't know what they're going to do with it. God, it really has to tell me to give someone money. Because we've helped people before and given them money and they didn't do the right thing with it.
Yeah. I definitely got scammed by a guy in Africa once.
Oh, really? Oh, my gosh. And yeah. Moped dude?
Some guy. Yeah. I know I got scammed once. And then
he was a pastor, right?
Once was enough, yeah.
Pasta.
When I was naive.
What do we send him, like $100 or something?
I don't know. Enough to make me
be like, no, regrets.
Stupid.
I once gave a homeless man, I tried to give a homeless man in the city, New York City, a bagel, and he like shooed me away and tried to curse me out. And I was like, what the hell? Like, some people just don't want help either, but
no, they don't want help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the most effective way to help people in need is just to find out what their actual need is.
Yeah.
And sometimes that does require being a little bit more involved, you know. But you know, some people may not need money directly. They may need, like, I don't know, like skills, or you know, like a job, or or housing or something like that. So it's like you got to spend time with, or rehab. Rehab would benefit them way more than money that's gonna put them in an early grave. So there's just you have to have discernment. And as a pastor and leader of a church, or used to be, this is something that was required of me. I had to have discernment. And
As a Christian, we're
yeah.
called to have discernment.
Yeah.
We're called to test the spirits too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Test it all.
and be careful, And obviously though, like if you're having people coming to you, in light of this government shutdown seeking help, and not even just, I would say not even just, like, people that are like on EBT. There are, I think like there are actual government workers who are going to be in crisis actually, because they're on, I think, week 4 of
Oh, they're not getting paid.
not getting paid.
Yes.
And that's really bad.
Scary.
It's like, like I think a lot of people forget that, like some people that work for the government, not everybody works in Congress.
Right.
There's people that work for, the post office and the DMV and other government organizations that are just not getting paid. And that's, that sucks for them. It really does,
And they still have to get up and go to work.
Yeah. They still have to show up.
Ugh.
So yeah, that sucks. All right, next topic, and then we'll close with your testimony. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right, this one is just a tweet. I'm just gonna read you the tweet, and then we're gonna discuss. So this is from Tristan Tate. He says, "Girls who can't overlook their provider cheating on them are immature."
Okay.
I love Sovereign Bra here because he just says,
no.
"You need to find Jesus, man." And then Richard Kruper says, "You need to find original scripture, man." And we'll get into their responses, but what do you think of that, hon?
So first of all, I'm sad that he would say something like that. I'm not surprised. When I first originally heard of the Tate brothers, I had no idea of the polygamy. I had no idea of it's alleged abuse, right? And I had no idea that they got their money from webcam business, right? So I had no idea of any of this. I always thought they were just really well-spoken, structured, disciplined men who cared to push a more conservative agenda. So I looked up to them. And then when I found out all of this stuff, I was like, oh wow, this is against the teachings of Christ. And to me it's kind of heartbreaking in a sense, I didn't know. He says you have to read between the lines with some people. Don't take what some say personally. I mean, yeah, no, of course, but if he's doing this in his life, it's personal, it's true,
I mean, let's read them, KMD, because
yeah,
again, he's a self-proclaimed Christian, okay? I wouldn't care if he wasn't actually. I wouldn't. It is what it is. Girls who can't overlook their provider cheating on them are immature. What am I missing? I'm what's unclear? I genuinely would like to know, because it seems like he's saying it shouldn't be a big deal since he's paying the bills if he cheats.
So biblically, cheating is grounds for divorce, right?
It's adultery.
It's adultery. So a woman does not have to stick around for that if a man is cheating. The Lord does not see that as pleasing, and the Lord does not see the woman's feelings as immature. In fact, the man should love the woman as Christ loved the church, and Christ died for the church. And if you love someone so much that you would die for them, you certainly would not cheat on them.
Yeah.
And
I would say that a man who can't, control himself sexually is immature. I mean, that's peak immaturity. If you can't be disciplined in your sex life, if you can't have that level of self-control, you're actually no different than a hormonal teenager.
Yeah.
Like we should be, as men, more disciplined than that. That and a lack of discipline in that area is a sign of immaturity.
Right. No, I completely agree. And if you look at the design, when God originally created man, he created one man, one woman. And every time you look at the Bible in polygamy, there was always something either evil coming out of it or drastic or scandalous, and God was not pleased. Like, look at Abraham, Sarah, and Hagar, okay? So we literally have Muslims from Ishmael, and then Judaism and Christianity stemming from Isaac. And that's like the two biggest world religion feuds going on today, stemming from polygamy.
Yeah, Candy says, I think he's speaking from a non-Christian perspective. If a non-Christian woman who desperately likes someone, she'd stay no matter if he cheated. He's speaking from a worldly perspective, from the guy who lives in Dubai, Monaco, money, cars, girls, etc.
Well, so let me ask you a question. Christian or not, is cheating right? Should cheating be acceptable regardless whether you're a Christian or not?
Yeah, I'm not, brother.
And then also, he's saying cheating, right? So when he brings up the Bible here, he's saying Abraham, Esau, Jacob, Moses, Gideon, Elkanah, Saul, David, Solomon. Well, forget Solomon, but all of them, with the exception of Solomon, because a concubine is what, like a whore or something, or what are they?
Concubines are basically like, they're not wives, they're like
sex slaves?
Not sex slaves, like just somebody to like bear your children. I mean, I'll pull up the biblical definition
but
of concubine.
Regardless, all of these women were wives. He's saying cheating, right? So cheating insinuates another girlfriend, a fling, something not serious, whatever, like making any sexual act permissible because he pays the bills.
Yeah, a concubine is a woman who lives with a man in a relationship akin to marriage but holds a lower status than a wife. So it's just basically a low status wife.
Like a girlfriend.
Is what a concubine is. Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
A girlfriend.
It's a girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a girlfriend.
That's what it is.
That's exactly what it is.
So,
I do think this tweet though is interesting though because he quotes cheating. Then he talks about cheating, adultery, which is sinful, and then he brings up examples of polygamy. All right.
That's what I was just saying.
Yeah. And
like they're all titled wives though. That's not
Yeah,
cheating.
they're all titled wives, but
not
it's
even cheating.
still wrong. And then too, he uses this as like justification for having multiple wives. And literally every single example of polygamy happening in the Bible always has negative consequences to it. There's never a situation where polygamy happens and it's really good and everything's copacetic. There's always negative consequences to it. With Abraham, with Esau, Jacob, Moses, Gideon, Saul, David, Solomon, all of them had negative repercussions for engaging in polygamy. Because that was not God's original design.
Right. And they don't end well.
Yeah, they don't end well.
And let's also think about like the children involved, right? So we're going to take an extreme case like Solomon. Solomon had 700 wives. 700. How many of those wives did he impregnate? How many of those kids were probably treated like actual bastards? You think Solomon had time for 700 wives and all of their children? They probably never even saw their father. And that's not the design of the Lord. We're supposed to train up our child, and that takes time, the perfect love of Christ. That takes up so much effort, you know? So it's a recipe for disaster. It really is. And just a justification of it makes me, gives me the ick, for sure. You feel that way too, yes?
I don't know. I just had to ban some retard on Kick.
Oh, was he saying inappropriate things?
Yeah.
Can I see? Oh, how lovely. We have a fan.
Oh, man. All right. We're good.
Foul mouth.
I'm eventually going to need a moderator.
I know.
To just...
It says an error recorded.
Deal with encoding.
Oh, sorry. I can't read.
An error encoding. It was the recording.
You know, honestly, when...
No idea what happened.
We'd be back.
Live's restricted for some... Oh, great.
Oh, we got flagged for hate speech?
I know what I got flagged for.
What?
I said the R word on TikTok, but...
and the...
Yeah. All right. So I can't say that on TikTok. I guess it's hate speech. But...
Did someone flag you or TikTok flagged you?
TikTok just flagged me.
Oh, I was about to say...
They've been flagging me a lot lately, so...
Of course they
my
are.
days are probably numbered on TikTok, but... I think we're back.
That's why you should go to Rumble.
Yeah, that's why you should go to Rumble, honestly. Jesus, man. What is going on here?
They didn't flag you for saying Jesus.
I don't know. Anyway, we're good. We should be good to go live on everything again. I don't know what happened. That was very weird. That was very strange.
That was strange.
YouTube just stopped and it's back again. Yeah. So anyway, what were we talking about?
I don't remember. We were talking about Tristan Tate and the glorification of him glorifying polygamy.
Yeah.
Biblically, but it's not a good thing because in the Bible, whenever there's a time polygamy is brought up, it's never usually a good thing, and God is not pleased with it. Period.
Yeah. So. And it's just not biblical. I want to go over Sovereign Bra's response real quick because I thought he had a pretty good response to this Alex Cooper guy. So let's hold on a second. I have to redo everything because
redo it.
OBS crashed on me.
He said the R word.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I said the R word. That got me in trouble.
Okay.
All right. So here's what original scripture says about your base red pill cheating man. It's a sin. Exodus 20:14. Punishable by death. 20:10. It leads to a man's destruction, violates God's will. Proverbs 6:32, Job 31:9 through 12. God's will is faithful monogamy to one wife. Genesis 2:24, Malachi 2:14 through 16. Yeah. Kings are strictly forbidden from accumulating multiple wives. Deuteronomy 17:17. Take a look at kings who disobeyed this command. They brought divine judgment upon themselves. It led to violence, chaos, civil war, and destruction of their own kingdom.
Yeah.
If you want to get really technical with it, Tristan Tate, the talisman, owes the modern equivalent of 4 to 5 years' wages to the fathers of the virgins he slept with. Deuteronomy 22:29. There's your original scripture. Tate's getting rejected from heaven and tossed into the lake of fire if he doesn't repent. Based!
Wow.
Let's go. That's what we need, man. Christ's word, not mine. Revelations 22:15. Revelations 21:8. That was a savage takedown.
Someone wrote, "Red pill is feminism for men. Take the Christ pill," and said, "I like that."
Yeah.
That's true.
Based. See, KMD, that's the type of man that you need to be following. Yeah. He's a good biblical guy.
Mm-hmm.
And not these just degenerate losers, man. That's, it's like you can have all the money in the world and, have all the notoriety and still just be like degenerate, man, and advocate for degeneracy. And that's what Tate is doing here. And Sovereign Bra was exactly correct in the way that he addressed him. So we'll see if Tate responds to that, but I do think that was well said.
That was well said.
All right.
Absolutely.
I guess it'll be time now for Wifey to share her little testimony.
Okay. So, I have plenty of testimonies in my life. This is just a prominent one that I thought of recently, and hopefully it can bless you. So, around the time I was 15 years old, we lived in New York, and we were more in the like upstate region. So, and upstate is rather large. So, for people who are familiar with upstate New York, it snows a lot and it's very cold. And when it snows, it can pack on and be very heavy. And when it freezes, there can be black ice. And it can be very dangerous, especially going around mountains and narrow roadways. So, one morning, my dad and I wanted to go to church. And actually, rather, my dad wanted to go to church. My brother was already there. My mother was working. And he said to me, "Do you want to go? Can you come? Do you want to come with me? Why don't you just come with me?" And I was like, I don't know. I think I want to stay home. And he goes, "Okay." And all of a sudden, the Holy Spirit told me, "You need to go to church." I said, "Okay, I think I'm going to go to church."
I think it crashed again. No, we're
did
good.
it?
We'll see.
Okay.
I don't know. We're good. Keep going.
Okay. So I decided to get dressed and I decided to go to church. So we hop in the car, and back in my day, we had something called, instead of an iPod, a Zune. So you either had Apple iPod or Zune. And I sat in the front seat, and for some reason, my seatbelt wasn't working. So it kind of like came completely out. And my dad's like, "You know what? Just stick it in the front. Just stick it in there really, really tight and make sure it doesn't come out." And I said, "Okay." So, of course, being New Yorkers all of our lives, driving in the snow is not a big deal. And the roads seemed clear. There was an ice storm the night before. And he said, "We'll just go really slow." So we start going towards church and going very slowly. And I'm listening to my Zune, just beep bopping like a teenager, beep boop boop boop, beep boop boop, not a care in the world. And all of a sudden I see my dad put his arm out and he says, "Hold on." And I ripped my earbuds out and I was like, "What?" And he says, "Hold on." And all of a sudden, we're on this highway. We hit black ice, we start to fishtail. And the fishtail turned into a spin. And we must have spun like 4 to 6 times on this highway. Thank God nobody was behind us, nobody was in front of us. It was early morning. And we hit this railing on the side of the highway. And the car flipped about 4 to 6 times. Okay. And my father at the time, he worked in an industry where he had to carry a lot of tools in the back. So all I remember is going up. My seatbelt flew off, me going up, and I went bing, boom, bing, boom, up, down, and flew to the back. Didn't even know I was in the back seat. And it kind of was like, the way I describe it was, I was clothes going around in a washing machine. And then finally, the car stopped and we were upside down. And I look down and I see like a little bit of blood. I see glass shattered everywhere. I see my dad's tools. Like, he had some heavy tools. Like, he had like a freaking steel hammer, pliers, you know, all of the nails, all of these dangerous things that could have killed me. Okay. And he stops. The car stops. And he says, "Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah." are you all right? He goes, yeah. He goes, we're upside down. I said, okay. And I look to my right, and my side of the door in the back seat was open. And his side of the door to the driver's side, the left, was open. And I said, are you okay though? Like, do you need help or something? He goes, no, I'll just unbuckle myself. And he goes, Sam, and he's trying for like 30 seconds. He goes, Sam, I'm stuck. I can't unbuckle myself. And I said, okay, don't worry, I'll come up. So I come up through the glass and I unbuckle him, and smack, he hits his head. Okay. And we get out of the car. We weren't locked in there. It was like the angels of the Lord just opened it for us. With like, it was already open, which is amazing to begin with. And we crawl out into the snow. And at the time, I had a really wild colored hair. So
She's had some crazy hair, actually.
Once.
Twice.
Oh,
She's had crazy and twice.
Listen, I'm not a blonde. I've accepted that. You blondes are beautiful. I'm not a beautiful blonde. All right?
Well, you're beautiful. Just the blonde doesn't
I'm
look
just
good
not a
on you.
beautiful blonde. Anyways, I've accepted my fate as a brunette, and I'm okay with it. Anyways, so we get out, and all of a sudden, we see the car, and we're like, wow, this car is totaled, flipped upside down, facing the opposite side of the highway. And at the time, I was friends with this family that was also on their way to church. And they stop and see our car flipped over, and they were freaking out. And at the time, she was like my best friend. Her mom was a nurse or a nursing student, and she's running to me, oh my God, where's your mother, where's your brother, where's everyone? And she thought that my mom got like ejected from the car, and it was like this whole thing. And I was like, no, it's just my dad and I, he's okay. And then I look at him, and he's sitting in front of the car, and he has this giant, like, you see the size of my part, like that's how big the gash was, a giant gash going all the way almost to his eye, and he's just bleeding. At this point, half his face is filled with blood. I apologize for any what's the word I'm looking for, graphic, but this is what I experienced. And I was like, oh my God, Dad, you're bleeding. And all of a sudden, this woman pulls up. My friend's mom calls 911. We see cars passing us on the other side of the highway. We see cars stopping on the other side of the highway to run over. Okay, this is like a 6-lane highway, or 4-lane highway rather, but it's a big highway. And they came over just to see if we were okay. And I was untouched. I was fine, but my dad wasn't. And his lips started to turn blue. And it was really scary. He started to get pale. And this woman came. She stopped with her 3-year-old. And she said, I have a diaper. And she put a clean diaper on my dad's head because it would absorb the blood. And
that was smart thinking.
It was, yes. And
never underestimate diapers,
yeah,
period pads, or tampons when it comes to stopping blood.
Yeah. And honestly, it helped save my father's life. And the EMTs came, and they actually kept using it, and then took it off and replaced it. And they did their thing, of course. And then my friend's mom was like rubbing my dad's legs to keep the circulation going, because we're sitting in the snow. And I'm there with my feet. I was wearing like these little ballet flats. My feet were freezing in like a foot of snow on the side of the road. And this woman's like, please, it's okay. Like, sit next to my son. I have socks. You want my socks? And I'll never forget her giving me these socks. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Like, my dad's gonna die. Like, he lost so much blood. And my brother came from church as soon as he found out that the accident happened, because we were only like maybe 10 minutes away from the church. the whole church started praying for us, and we were so grateful for it. And then I looked, my brother drove up and he goes, Dad, you okay? And he goes, yeah, I'm okay. And he looked at me, and my brother is very, even tempered, I guess you would say. He's very calm. I've never seen fear in his eyes, and I saw fear in his eyes that day. And when I spoke to him later on, he was like, I thought he was gonna die. Like, it was that serious. So we fast forward. My friend's mom takes me to the emergency room, and the ambulance takes my dad to the emergency room. And on my way, I'm thinking, like, why did this happen? Why would God allow something so heinous, in my perspective, okay, where I could be left without my father? And my mom was far away working. You know, here I am, a 15-year-old girl by myself dealing with this. And I was really upset with the Lord. We get home. My mom gets home. My dad gets home after going through all of these tests and these different screenings and stuff, and they sent us home. And we find out that my dad had a nodule in his throat. And the story goes, if we never had that car accident, they would have never found that nodule, because my dad was in pretty much perfect health, and it was developing into cancer, and we were able to take it out in time. And I don't know if my father would be here today. And it was such a blessing that something like that happened. And it was also such a blessing listening to the voice of the Holy Spirit, because if I didn't go, my dad would have been stuck upside down. He wasn't able to get out himself. So, like, I think of all these things and I'm like, wow, like, God just showed me his perfect love in this situation.
Yeah.
And it just goes to show, like, sometimes, not that God makes bad things happen, he doesn't, but sometimes he will allow things to happen in your life for him to work it out for your good.
Yeah.
And I'm really close with my parents. I'm definitely a daddy's girl. I don't know where I would be without my father, you know? So that's just one of the testimonies that I've had in my life. And I also want to make mention too, it was also a blessing that my seatbelt wasn't working. Man, I took a photo of it because I was in shock. But when we went to look at the car to see how terrible it was at, it's not the Pound, Lord have mercy. You know where they take the cars to?
Mechanic?
No. The junkyard.
Oh, junkyard.
When we went to go see the car at the junkyard, my side, the way the glass was, it was sharp and pointed. And it was, if I would have stayed there, it would have directly killed me. So, like, the impact, like, it was like forced into like a spike. It was so scary. I took a picture of it. Man, I hope I could find it one day. But it just showed me how, wow, the Lord protected me in that. And all I ever suffered from that was whiplash. That's it. And yeah, that's my testimony for the car accident that I experienced.
That's
and
profound.
How good God is through it
Yeah.
all.
And not long after that, we ended up meeting too. So
It was like a year later.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm grateful she's alive, and grateful that God took like something bad like this accident and worked it together for good to reveal this potential cancer in her father's throat. It's amazing, you know?
Yeah.
And he does stuff like that all the time, you know? It's like, you know, you look at a situation that's happening, you're like, well, why did that happen?
Mhm.
You know, you don't know in that moment what God is doing behind the scenes
Mhm.
and, you know, exposing, you know, or using that for something bigger than you understand in that moment.
Mhm.
You know, and sometimes that understanding happens later, you know, sometimes many years later. Sometimes you never really know, but you have to trust that, you know, whatever you're going through, God is in it and he's with you and he's going to work it together for your good ultimately. And that's something that I take great solace in.
Yeah.
You know, like every setback, every moment of adversity, God uses for the good of those who love Him, and that's profound.
Yeah. No. 100% agree.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we're gonna start to wrap this up. But if any of you guys need prayer for anything, feel free to let us know, and we will happily pray for you.
Yeah.
It's something that we love being able to do, and if you don't feel comfortable putting it in chat, you can private message me, RCAM_media on Twitter. Probably the easiest way to get a hold of me. If you're on Rumble, I guess you could technically join my Discord channel. I don't really have anyone in it. I don't really use it that much, but you can use that too. And if you like this stream, please like, share, repost, do all of that. That helps me out. And yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for the support. We appreciate. We got, I think, total of like 76 viewers across platforms.
That's awesome. Guys, thank
Yeah.
you for tuning in.
Yeah, appreciate every single one of you guys.
Yeah.
Truly, we really do appreciate the support, and you guys watching this stream. This is, yeah, it feels like it's growing. Like
Yeah,
we're
it
getting
might
more and
be.
more viewers, so that's cool. I do thank you guys though, and again, if you need prayer, feel free to reach out to us, and that's gonna do it for us. We hope you guys have a very blessed night. Deuces.
See ya.